What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2 of Off the Clock podcast with Jay.Cole and Zay. I am your host, Zay.
Hey, man, I'm Jordan. A lot of people call me Jay.Cole.
And Jay.Cole, let's get it all started. Thursday night football, what a game. Best Thursday night football game I've watched in a couple of years. I'm not going to lie. Falcons getting the win in OT, 36-30. Kirk Cousins finishes the game with 509 yards. Jay.Cole, that was a great game. 42 for 58, 72.4 completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kirk Cousins' last career-high game came against Indianapolis in that comeback back in 2022, where he had 460 yards and 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Thoughts on the game?
Hey, man, it was a good game, especially the win in overtime. That's pretty much what I could say about that one. You know, we got Baker Mayfield. He also threw 19 to 24, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just a lot of great performances across the board here. We even had Drake London, 12 receptions, 154 yards, 1 touchdown. So overall, just a good game.
Right.
Great way to start the week for football-wise and stuff like that. Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, like, with the Buccaneers, right, I'm thinking, yeah, this was a blowout at the beginning of the game, thinking that Tampa Bay, they're going to stay first place in the NFC, the NFC South. And when you watch the Buccaneers, they were dominant first half.
Right.
And then they just let up going into the second half. So I'm just like, you thinking that, what's wrong? I'm like, and then when you're thinking of this, Todd Bowles, right? This is the team that just dominated Philly last Sunday. And now it's like they couldn't hold on to the lead against Atlanta. So I'm like, okay, if you want to be a playoff team, you have to be able to hold on to leads. You can't give up leads if you thinking that you're going to win the, your division. And then, but luckily for the Buccaneers, it's not over. Every year, they play Atlanta twice. So, I definitely think it's going to be a great one, the next time these two teams suit up.
Hold on. Don't go anywhere just yet. Shout out to DESU Radio for letting us use their equipment. And if you like what you see or like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. And let's get back to Off the Clock. For sure.
Zay.
Moving on, DSU had his homecoming game this past Saturday against St. Francis Red Flash. Final score was 28-17. This loss puts DSU's record at 1-5 and 0-3 at home. Big turning point in this game was, DSU was up this whole game, man.
Right.
It was actually a good game. Everybody was saying we was going to win finally on homecoming, and then I don't know, fourth quarter came, people just started folding.
Right.
St. Francis came down, got a touchdown, then kicked the ball off. They fumbled the kick. They get the ball back, and it was all.
Yeah, I heard
that,
one of the St. Francis guys hurdled like 2 of our guys.
Man. Yeah, man. Hey, man, I was at the game too. As soon as I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, it's time for me to leave. Then they scored after that again. So
I know, right? That was a heartbreaker. Yeah, we just gotta get a dub on homecoming. We need one.
We just need a dub in general. Forget the homecoming. Just no shade though to the players.
Right, yeah,
man.
no shade. So we switch back to NFL. Panthers Bears. Great game for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams just going 20 for 29, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Chicago moves to 3-2 in their third in the NFC North. Thoughts on Caleb Williams, Jay.Cole?
Arguably one of Caleb Williams' best games. I know we was talking earlier about off camera about his performance against the Colts, but he did have 2 interceptions that game. So you could give it to that game or this game. But I feel like for this game, this is a big win. This is very important, just to get your confidence up.
Right.
He's a young quarterback. He's got all that pressure on him. Right. So, good win.
And, his first game, against Tennessee, everybody was like, oh, he only threw for 93 yards. So it's like, this guy's not legit. But then, okay, so he's moving up. And then next game against Houston, he has 174 in that Sunday night loss. And then he had 363 the following week against Indianapolis.
Right.
So that was a great game for him, but it was just the 2 interceptions. And on top of that, the loss too. But they didn't lose by a lot. They only lost 21-16. So it wasn't a bad game for them. But I'm really excited to see how Caleb Williams plays for, the remainder of the season.
Right.
Next game they got is against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London on this Sunday. So I think that would be a great game for them. Trevor
Definitely.
Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars haven't been playing that great. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how Caleb Williams plays. So, do you think between him or Jaden Daniels? I'm throwing Bo Nix out of the equation.
Okay.
I think you know what question I'm getting ready to ask. And for offensive rookie of the year.
Offensive rookie of the year. Right now, I'm seeing. It's still very early.
Yeah,
still very early,
that's true.
man. We got a lot of weeks ahead of us, but for right now, I'm gonna say Jaden, man. Jaden has been balling.
Good choice.
I gotta get, and y'all the rivals, man.
Right,
Division rival, man. So I still gotta give you props when props is due. So definitely Jaden for right now, yeah.
So speaking of that, we're going to switch over to Washington and the Browns. Great game. So I know that's my team. So I don't want to play a little fanboy right now. But no, that was a great game for Jaden Daniels. That dominated performance, and I was not expecting 2 weeks in a row for blowout wins like this, and I'm just like, this is not the same team that I'm used to seeing, because normally every time I'm watching the Commanders play, it's always the opposite.
Right,
We're always the ones getting blown out. It's like it's so surreal watching your team now, and it's just like,
Right.
if you weren't, what's that meme? It's like, if you weren't there with me at my worst, don't be there for me at my best, right?
Correct.
And
Correct.
that's how I've always been. I've been through so many heartbreakers. I've been through the Alex Smiths, Dwayne Haskins,
Robert Griffins.
yeah, or Robert Griffins, Taylor Heineke. I've been through so many quarterbacks, but it's just like, now this guy is a legit threat.
And
That's the thing. I'm like, he's a threat. But now they're playing the Baltimore Ravens this Saturday, or not Saturday, Sunday.
okay.
So I'm like,
This is the test.
This
is the test
battle
right
of the
here, man.
Beltway. This
Yes.
is the true test.
That's a good game
and
right
I was
there,
telling
man.
everyone this. I'm like, okay, this is the game to see if Jaden Daniels is legit. And I'm like, okay, yes, we played the Browns. Yes, we played the Giants. Yes, we played the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals aren't a bad team, don't get me wrong. And then the Cardinals. But now
This is the test.
this is the ultimate test for Jaden Daniels. I'm like, if he gets this win this Sunday, that solidifies it. I'm like, I think he's legit.
Correct. Yeah, man, y'all just really needed a quarterback. Even watching Sam Howell last year, you could tell that, you just needed a quarterback. So right now, Jaden Daniels is, for quarterbacks across the board, he's 12th in yards at 1135. He's tied 25th for touchdowns at 4. Tied 36 for interceptions. He only has 2 interceptions on the year.
And that's
really good.
That's who. Another thing, he's been holding on to the ball. He knows how. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yes, he's a rookie, but he's playing like a veteran. He's like, he knows when to throw the ball away. He knows when to take it and run. He doesn't force the ball into tight windows. He doesn't make rookie mistakes. It's just like, this guy's a rookie. You would think that this guy's been in the league for like 10 years now, but I'm like, he's only a rookie, and he's been taking care of the ball. And normally, you never see rookie quarterbacks taking care of the ball,
Right, correct.
Like Jaden Daniels has.
Correct.
And on top of that, this is his 4th game with over 200 yards in the 34-13 win against Cleveland.
Blowout.
Yeah, blowout. He had
Blowout.
went 14 for 25, 238 yards. And also on top of that too, it's just his ability to avoid sacks. He just knows how to, get out of
the pocket,
sticky
yep.
situations. And I was reading, Dan Orlovsky actually said that Washington has found their Lamar Jackson, and I'm like, okay, now
Getting
you
close
put
there.
it. Now
Hey
you
man,
put
we
it
gotta bring it down a little bit though. But we're getting close though. He is definitely exciting to watch.
Right.
And he's also 3rd in QBR at 73.2. So, hey man, good season so far, man.
And we finally have a quarterback that's throwing Terry the ball. And I'm like,
Right.
that's all I've wanted. That's all I've wanted. I'm like, I need a quarterback to throw Terry the ball. Because I'm just like, he's literally our WR1. He's the best receiver. And like, you don't give your WR1 the ball. I'm like, what are you doing? So, I mean, then again, I completely understand his frustrations, with past quarterbacks. I'm like, I'm just out here just running, getting a cardio workout. I'm like, I ain't getting the ball thrown at me. So I'm glad we finally got a quarterback throwing on the ball.
Yeah. How about the most exciting game? Well, I think it was the most exciting game for this week. We got Ravens Bengals.
Ravens-Bengals. That was a good game.
Bengals. Final score 41-38. Ravens win overtime. This was crazy because the Bengals had the chance to win. They missed the kick. Ravens come down, get the ball to Derrick Henry, gets the yards, and kicked the game-winning field goal for him. So yeah.
And then watching that game too. Yeah, I know I gotta kind of throw it back to Washington right quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Like just watching that game too, and I'm like, okay, Ravens haven't been playing that great this season. Normally they're always off to a fast start every season. But I'm like, okay, watching this game gives me confidence going into next week because I'm like, okay,
you have a chance.
Ravens struggle right now. Had they been the juggernaut that they've always been, and you know, Redskins play terrible at how they've always been.
Right.
I've kind of been like, I don't think I'm watching this game. I don't think. But I'm like, okay, now I'm like, it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, right.
Great game. So I'm like, okay, if Ravens are struggling, we got a chance. That's a chance right there.
Y'all got a chance. Y'all definitely got a chance, man. We had Lamar Jackson.
I mean, but Lamar threw for 340 yards this game.
340 yards, 4 touchdowns.
His best game so far this season.
But even look at Joe Burrow, 392, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's still a phenomenal game.
Right.
And to come out with the loss, that's tough. That's tough, man.
I know that was a big heartbreaker for the Bengals. It's like the Bengals have the weapons. They have Jamar Chase. They got T. Higgins. It's just maybe a coaching change. Could we see that?
Yeah, man.
Could see that. And actually, speaking of coaching changes, Robert Saleh has been fired by the New York Jets. Was fired yesterday morning after the 23-17 loss to Minnesota over in London. I mean, also Robert Saleh finishes with a career record of 20-36 with the Jets. Thoughts on that, J.Cole?
Hey, man. I mean, you could kind of foreshadow this a little bit. Jets been struggling. A-Rod's been struggling. You could just tell, you know, butting heads and stuff.
And it was
that.
like you could always tell, and especially you could always tell it was like cracks forming and friction between them. Really, once we go back and look at Week 3 against New England, you know, Rodgers denying that hug. I'm like, just denying the hug, saying no, not right now. And then everybody's like, okay, I'm like,
yeah,
they don't like each other.
What's going on?
What's going on?
You can see it. The media saw it.
Like a player denying a hug from a coach. Now, normally, now you would kind of be excited. Now we seen this. Brady's always hugged Belichick. You know, Sirianni's always hugged Hurts. Reed always hugged Mahomes. But once you get to Rodgers and Robert Saleh, it's just it was friction between these guys. But then on top of that too, I don't blame him because Aaron Rodgers, we seen it too. That friction between him and Mike McCarthy, and then eventually him and Matt LaFleur. Aaron Rodgers hates to lose. We know that. He hates losing. And then you're coming over to the Jets. Yes, you don't play your first season. You play like 3 minutes. And then you're now playing and then you're losing still. And it's just you lose to the Vikings. You lose to you definitely shouldn't have lost to the Broncos. You shouldn't have lost that game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, then they lose
That's
week
crazy.
1 to the 49ers. So, I mean, I won't say I blame Aaron Rodgers. You know, you like kind of think Aaron Rodgers might have pulled some strings a little bit.
Right, yeah. Hey, man. He definitely has a say, man. So,
I mean,
it is A-Rod at the end of the day.
Right, and it's kind of like I won't say a LeBron type of situation. I like, you know, LeBron, they call him Le GM.
Yeah.
But like Aaron Rodgers kind of playing like GM a little bit. You know?
Hey, man. Them stars got saves in the...
Well, they always do. They always do.
But I do want to touch on the Vikings, though. They coming out... Nobody expected. I didn't expect that.
I was not
came out of nowhere,
and especially it's so for Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah, even like, come on.
You would never. I would have. Okay.
They lost a quarterback in the offseason. Sam Darnold comes out here. He's throwing dots to Jetta. 5-0 record. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here, man?
And so, like, for Sam Darnold, I was not expecting this neither, right? Because I'm like, okay. And on top of that, too, he got revenge, ladies and gentlemen. This is revenge on the New York Jets, right?
Right.
And for Sam Darnold, I was not expecting him to play like this. Because I'm like, okay, he was a laughing stock when he was playing with the Jets. Everyone was like, okay, he's the worst quarterback in the league.
Right.
Then he's backing up over at Carolina for a little bit. And it's just like, okay, Sam Darnold he's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of forgotten in a way. I'm not gonna lie, I legit forgot Sam Darnold was still in the league.
Yeah, I did
legit
too,
forgot he was still in the league. I mean, and then it's just, I mean, he had 179 yards, you know, against the Jets, and then he went 14 for 31. He did have an INT though, which was bad. So I mean, that was kind of a sloppy game when you're looking at the statistics.
Right.
I mean, but other than that, Sam Darnold's been playing great. You know, and then he went 275 last week against Green Bay with 20 for 28, and almost a near comeback scare. But actually, let's see. So now, actually, the Vikings, they do have the Lions this Sunday.
Division game.
You think Vikings might give that one up?
Hey, man. I'm going to personally go with the Vikings. I think, hey, we got the hot streak right now. Nobody can beat us. I'm going Vikings, man. 6-0. 6-0 Vikings. You like the Lions?
I'm not going to lie. The Lions have been playing great. They've been playing great. Jared Goff, especially, you know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Everybody's been playing great over there for Detroit. And Dan Campbell has really whipped these guys into shape. I'll give that. Like, Dan Campbell, probably, I'd say between him or Mike McDaniel would probably have been like my favorite head coaches so far in the league, just based on their attitudes and how they turned their teams around.
Right.
But especially for Dan Campbell, it's like you want to run through a wall for this guy. Just listen to, you know, his motivation speeches and all that. You know, so the players really want to play for him. You know, and I like that. You know, you love to see that.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So then we're looking at the Lions right here. So Lions last 5, you know, they lost to Tampa Bay. You know, that was the surprising loss they had. But other than that, Lions have been playing great.
Good football. Let's talk about the upset this week, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the upset. San Fran, Arizona, man.
Right. Now, I was not expecting the 49ers to, like, almost blow the lead, because it's like once they got the block kick, right? They blocked the kick. I'm thinking, okay, now they're gonna start pouring it on, right?
Yeah.
But then here comes Kyler Murray, and so I mean, Kyler Murray, right? He's good. He's good once he locks in, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because I know everybody. The biggest meme about him is, yes, he's a big Call of Duty player. I know I'm a Call of Duty player, but I'm like, okay, look, you gotta set off your distractions for your team. I'm like, this is your job. This is kind of like blowing your job just to go play video games. And I'm like, you can't say screw your job. But no, Kyler Murray has been playing great. He's been playing great. I'm gonna check his stats right now.
Yeah, Kyler's been playing good. But you can tell that San Fran is like having struggles without Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He's actually eligible to play this next Thursday, but I think they're still going to sit him. You know, just to make sure he's fully healthy and fully ready. But you could tell that they're struggling, man. You could tell like he's a missing piece in this offense, man, and it's showing for sure.
And then just with the Arizona Cardinals, they got the Green Bay Packers coming up this Sunday. Kyler Murray, I mean, he threw 195. He threw 195. And then, you know, he always uses it with his legs too, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but he had 83 yards in rushing, and that's from a quarterback. And I'm just like, all right, this guy has the speed of a receiver. He can get it done with his legs. I mean, he can get it done with his arm. You know, that's no doubt. But other than that, you know, Arizona, they got it. They have it.
Yeah, man, definitely an upset win.
They just got to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. They have to get him
only
the
2
ball.
receptions for 36 yards, man.
Yeah,
Marvin Harrison, man. Come on, man.
And I'm like, for your top pick, your number 1 pick, you cannot have this. You need to get him the ball. And I'm like, we can see what he could do with the ball in his hand, especially like from week 1. When we look back from week 1, it had no targets.
Right.
Man did not get the ball thrown to him at all in that game. So I'm like, you just got to get the ball in your playmaker's hands. That's the only way you're going to win, in my opinion.
I agree. They still came out with the dub anyway, so shout out to them. Next we have this game right here, man. You know, I do not like these fan bases, man. These are probably one of the most hated fan bases in all of football. The Cowboys versus the Steelers, man. Finals.
That was a good game.
Final score of 20-17. Cowboys victory. Thoughts on the game?
So, I mean, the game ended up getting delayed due to the weather. But Dak Prescott becoming the first quarterback in NFL history to throw an interception in the same game on 2 different days, because the game ended up going into Monday morning. I mean, but Dak still ended up throwing for like 300 something that game too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, he threw for 352. Impressive game.
Yeah.
And then Justin Fields, you I ain't gonna lie, he's starting to fizzle out. He's fizzling. He's fading. I mean, just 131 yards. I'm like, when he just putting up like 200 a couple of weeks ago,
Right.
And it's like now you're starting to fizzle out. So I was like, all right, you kind of gotta step it up. I mean, because now he got Russell Wilson. Like, just wait for that opportunity, and who knows how long it'll take for Mike Tomlin to finally make that decision. Yeah, other than that was a great game.
Yeah, good game. Came down to the game-winning touchdown by Jalen Tolbert.
So before we head on out, picks for tomorrow night: 49ers Seahawks going down on Thursday Night Football.
I'm gonna go San Fran, man. I'm gonna go San Fran. San Fran on that one.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna
lie. I'm taking Seattle. Geno Smith, okay. Top passer right now in the league. I mean, he's first. He has over 1,000 yards. You know, he has the weapons. He has Jackson Smith and Jigba. He has Tyler Lockett, DK. He has it. He has his weapons. So
right. Okay,
that'll be a great game. NFC West rivalry.
Okay,
can't wait to see it.
That's gonna be a good one. Just real quick before we get out of here, y'all. NBA season, man. NBA season is starting up. We just had preseason over the past couple of days. And we actually got to see LeBron and his son, Bronny James, on the court for the first time together. Bronny James against the Timberwolves, he had 2 points, 1 turnover, 3 blocks, and 1 rebound. And in this past game, they just played the Phoenix Suns. He had 0 points, 4 turnovers, and 2 rebounds. Just some thoughts on Bronny James, man. How do you feel about LeBron James' son?
I feel like LeBron's going to guide him in a good light.
Okay.
As he should, as every father should. But, I mean, obviously, he's going to struggle a little bit this season. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's with every rookie. But, you know, I feel like once the season goes on, you know, once you get to December, once you get to January, February, and then you get that little all-star break, I feel like he'll finally start to get his foot in. I mean, but for right now, obviously, it's probably going to be a little bit low scored for him. He was starting, right?
No.
I thought LeBron was going to pull some strings that had him starting.
No.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, Bronny, he's still just trying to get his feet wet. So,
yeah,
I mean, I give him some time.
Young kid, man. I just don't understand how we can hate on Bronny.
Yeah,
just hate on kids.
And then I'm like, come on, man, you can't hate on him just based off who his dad is. It's like everybody hating on Shadur and Shiloh. I'm like, well, they can't help their dad was Deion Sanders. You can't help that. Just whatever happens.
They got lucky, man.
Right. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the show. Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Off the Clock with Jay.Cole and Zay. I'm Zay.
I'm Jay.Cole.
And we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Peace. Blessings.